Hello. Oh. How are you guys? Today is crazy hair day because it's raining outside again. Actually, we had some storms and very heavy rain, a lot of floods in the province, um, and it continues raining a lot. So, and the humidity also doesn't help. The accumulation of water also. And also we have dengue. Dengue is like the mosquito virus disease, and it's pretty awful to get it. So having accumulated water is not the best situation right now, but this is what's going on. Yeah, dengue can be deadly. Yeah. Yeah. But well. I always think that every time sometimes I watch my old live streams, and I notice that I have something in here sometimes, not all the time. And I think that it's lipstick, and actually no, it's like my own, like, I don't know how this part of the, I don't remember now how it's called. But it's this part of my lip that it makes a sort of shadowy, but there's nothing here. I don't have nothing. But every time I look at my image, I'm like, oh my God, the makeup, like the lipstick, it's. How are you guys? Finally in Aries season. Yeah, Cupid something. Yeah, I don't know. In Spanish, isn't this like frenicio or something like that? Cupid bow. Oh. I always like look at my image, and I'm like, this my lipstick like got here, and I need to. Frenicio. Ah, the tongue. Ah, yeah, you're right. You're right now. You know that there's people that when they're babies, they have to have this surgery because they have these tied together or something like that. My girl season. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like Aries yet. I think that we still are going to have to deal with some Pisces situations first. I feel like it's not like, like usual, like another years where, we felt the switch, we felt it right away. Hello. Trying to cleanse. This is not Palo Santo. This is like a cone, an incense cone. This is I'm moving it all around because it essence is very perfumed. It's lavender, but it's strong. So that's why I'm moving it because it's too sweet. I don't know how I feel about it. It's nice, but it's sweet. So did you find something, Akira, on Netflix to watch? Some K-drama or something? I had a hard time remembering Mina is an Aries because I kept thinking she was a Pisces, maybe because her birthday is at the beginning of the season. Oh, actually for me, I always thought that she was a Taurus. like, like very different, very different views. Hey, Chachalino. I always thought that she was. Um, hey, Stray Kids Pink Lover. I always seen her like a Taurus. I don't know why. I don't know because maybe because she's quiet or she seems quiet. She gives me Taurus vibes. Oh, not yet. I got really sick, so I've been in the doctor, sleeping, getting mad. Oh, but do you know, like, do you have a diagnosis? Like, do you know what you have? Like, are you, like, taking care of it? So today is a perfect day if the electricity like doesn't run out, like doesn't go out, if the power doesn't go out and we are safe, like everything electricity related, power related, it's okay. This is a great atmosphere to have like these readings because it's raining outside, guys. It has been raining since yesterday, like during the evening, so we couldn't go out. Actually, because like actually it's very heavy. Like the rain is heavy here. There's a lot of like floats around the city, so we cannot go out. I actually make sure here, like in my office, to put like a lot of pieces of clothes and to stack it very well so the water doesn't penetrate the entrance through the door because there's a lot of water, a lot of rain. So I feel like I'm being productive in here. Pulling cars, being with you. Thank you guys for keeping me company. Thank you guys. I guess it was a great idea to do this Wednesdays. Because you know that there are moments where there are days, especially when it was really hot during the summer, that I would be struggling actually pulling cars during summer because I would be suffocated. Or and also when it's winter as well because my hands get cold. And when I shuffle the car, so I have to. But usually I have cold hands, so it's not about the weather. It's more about me being cold all the time. But in this atmosphere, as long as we have power on, I'm okay. As long as the Wi-Fi works, we are okay. Yeah. With her alleged beer time, she's a Pisces rising. I'm taking medicine and I have a cold and problems in my throat. Nothing severe, but feels like, oh yeah, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. A lot of those are not friendships. Those are shippings. And I don't read for ships. It's like Winter and Jaehyun, I can kind of see it because they had some appearances, but the other guy with Winter is like Winter and whoever, so no. It's like, here we have, at least for me, to pull cards, I have to have like some interactions, some consistent interactions, sort of feeling the vibe. I'm not just a random tarot reader. I know about K-pop, so you cannot fool me. Okay. I mean, we can we can do Winter and Jaehyun because I can do Winter and Jaehyun just to include her and Jaehyun. But no, nothing else. I already have the listing here, and it's a long one. So also, please, guys, don't forget to give a like to the live stream after it's over. It helps me a lot. I know we are always like few people, but I don't care. Like for me, it's nice just to have five likes. I'm not happy. I'm happy. Did you see the new Omega X drama? The CEO belongs in jail. Oh no, I didn't. What are you watching, guys, these days? Because I think that I'm taking a break from K dramas. I don't know what is it. Maybe because first of all, it's the different platforms. I do have an Spanish website that is really good, that they upload a lot of K dramas, a lot of Asian doramas, K dramas, J dramas, a lot of them with Spanish subtitles. That is called doramas. Doramas Flix is really good. But for example, every time I get excited about a K drama or someone, I hire Netflix. And that's the only reason why then I keep Netflix all month long. And I regret it because there's nothing good on Netflix. So I see myself feeling like I'm wasting money because it's not that I watched something else. And then when there's another K drama or J drama or something that comes up that it sounds very interesting, my style, I get the news that, oh no, it's in another platform. It's on Star Plus or it's on another one that I don't have. So I see, the other day I did the last month I did hire Star Plus or Disney Plus. I believe Star Plus and Disney Plus here are the same, but I don't know. I did hire that to watch Flexcop, that is, I believe it's Hamboyon new drama. But then I go through the platform and I cannot find some, like, I feel like I'm you know, you're putting a lot of effort into making your payment worthwhile. You're like, okay, like, since it's paid like the whole month or just several days, I guess I'm going to go through it, scroll through the app to see what's available. And I don't find anything. The movies that they have, they are so old, so outdated. And the new ones I don't like. The superhero ones I don't like. So in my case, like, in my opinion, I have this issue that and sometimes honestly I think that the one K-drama that was on Netflix that I was like, oh my God, this is great, it was Kingdom. Like, and I believe that Kingdom was released 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It was before the pandemic, I know it. And then after Netflix started releasing some K-dramas, I'm so disappointed. I'm like, I feel like I watch it because I have to search for something to watch. But it's not like, oh, this is my style. So I don't know about you guys if you're enjoying it. She's claiming now to be the victim by a member of the group. Oh my God. That's why we used to share Netflix accounts with our friend group. The quality has gotten really bad the past year. Yeah. And here in my country, we have to pay extra taxes because we are consuming something from overseas. So it's not only that we also have another taxes because, we're paying in dollars, and then there's the exchange, but then we have to pay the country. It's just like, it's not worth it. When I think about it, I feel like it's not worth it. But then something new comes up and I get excited, and I'm like, oh, okay, this new series is about to come out, so I guess I will hire it again. So I always see myself like canceling it and then getting back, and canceling it and then getting back. But I guess I would feel better, if you have the option to choose, like, there are some apps that you can rent movies and you pay individually to watch that. I think that I would feel better if that was an option. It's like, okay, you have this whole like list of series and list of things that you have on Netflix. I don't want to pay full price for the whole content that I don't like. I want to pay for this specific and give me access to this, only to this. And then, I go. Then I go. Then I don't want for more. I don't ask for more. I don't want it. Because there's another thing. I think that what I get I get very frustrated because I force myself to find something else to watch. And I end up going to YouTube to find something, like to watch some documentaries or some, something on YouTube. I'm watching Physical 100. I watch that right now. I haven't resumed Doctor Slump. Yeah, Doctor Slump, I did watch, I believe I watched 2 or 3 episodes. Honestly, they're cute. I mean, I like the actors, but I don't know. I think that I'm starting to see a pattern, and and I don't like it. I'm starting to see a pattern. For example, there's something about, I don't know if it's the writers, whoever create this, that they are like, oh, so we are starting to see that the numbers go up every time there's this K-drama that not only has like a thriller or something like this or romance, but there's this talk about this person having mental health issues. Like this person struggles, this person has this disease or has this impediment, especially mentally, trauma, stress, and they sort of like glorify it. And I think that their approach to how they solve or they pretend to resolve this in a few episodes so then we can get the typical happy ending is superficial. Is superficial. It's all for shock value. It's not how real people deal with those things. So, and then there's another subject that it's about violence in schools among students, or sometimes there are adults involved. I don't want to say the word because but I don't know, ever since The Glory, people are like, they are very inspired. They're like, okay, we've seen that The Glory was very talked about, very like, so yeah, now we're going to all mention that, there's the mean girl, the group, the good girl, so I think that's like playing safe, and also I'm also getting a bit disgusted by the amount of aggression that is, like the violence that I see on K-dramas, on Cycle. I like thriller. I'm a fan of thriller. But I'm a fan of thriller not for the gore or the violent scenes. I don't like those. I like mystery, you know. But they had introduced this very, like, they are experts on showing like this ugly side of the society and everything that yeah, at some point it was shocking. You were like, oh my god, what am I watching, just like Parasite. And when you have those endings that you're like, oh my god, this person is crazy, this character is crazy, oh my god, what is going on. But now I feel like they are using it too much, and I'm like I feel sick to my stomach. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know. the mental health issues almost work for Western shows. So they saw a business opportunities and went with it. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's not you getting a hug. Someone that is in depression is not someone just getting a hug from their loved ones and like you're okay already. Or they give you the pill and you're okay already. You have to do a lot of work, a lot of inner work. And that's what they don't do. They don't show that because probably they don't do it. They don't show the, you know, that you have to go to therapy, that you have to, you know, you have to be consistent, that there are ups and downs, that, you know, in every episode you cannot open up your heart to someone, to your childhood friend, and just tell them everything, that how you feel and why you feel like this. No, sometimes people with those symptoms or with that condition, they are not able to magically admit, like, oh, you know, this is the reason why I was feeling depressed. You know, and I think that they try to glamorize it just so that they can get the female lead and the male lead, like, oh my God, his love saved me. And no, it's not like that. Okay, guys, I'm going to start with the readings because there's a thunderstorm and I'm afraid that, you know, it's going to affect the electricity. Nobody wants to see the real ugly struggle, only the end result. Yeah, yeah. This is why I think that they grab the subject and they just, like, it's like, oh, look, the poor protagonist, she's struggling. Like, let's clarify this. And you know, she is like, she's struggling. She doesn't know how to deal with it. But then at the, you know, in the corner, like like she just bumps into the guy that she likes, you know, and then, you know, like, and you know, it's not like that. Some people feel lonely. Some people, it's not that, you know, like, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I think that it's like, if you cannot do it right, there's some K-dramas that are really good. For example, It's Okay to Not Be Okay. That's a great show. That's a great show. But okay, guys. I want to tell you what I have on my list. I have EXO and BTS, 17 and Blackpink, Ateez and Stray Kids, Somi and Espa Giselle, Enhypen and TXT, SM and JYP, Enhypen Sunhoon and IVE Wonyoung. That this one I did a long time ago, and this other one I also did it. The TVXQ Juno and Kim Jae-jung, I also did it a few years ago. But yeah, let's see what's available today. But I did it already. And then actress Jeong Jeong-soo and Twice Momo, and last one Espa Winter and NCT Jaehyun. SM and JYP. Oh my, yeah. Okay. For EXO and BTS, before I pull the cards, I want to make a clarification because I did notice that there were people that also recommended an EXO member and a BTS member. And those people are on the military. And I don't do readings for idols that are on the military or are on hiatus. Because they're on a break. I don't pull cards for those people. When it comes to EXO and BTS, we know that both groups are not completed when it comes to all the members, because some are on the military. BTS is in the military. So since this is like a dynamic reading and it's not to see, it's not what's available for them in the future, it's not to see what's ahead for them, I can do this based on the dynamic. And this dynamic, this that I pick, can be a perception they had of each other when they saw each other 3 years ago. I don't know. It depends on them, and I know they know of each other's existence, but yeah, the dynamic can come up from a very distant moment, like it can happen a long time ago. But yes, since they are not active, some of them today, I cannot know what they think today of each other. Okay. So I say this because then they keep asking for members that are on the military, and I don't like to repeat. Okay, they are on the military, they are on hiatus, I don't read. Okay, from EXO's perspective, about BTS, and from BTS perspective, and then I'm going to pull an extra card from here. I wonder if they suggested Kai and Taeyeon. Yeah, they did, Akira. The same, yeah. Kai and Taeyeon. Yeah, and we know why, yeah. Okay. From EXO perspective, we have the Queen of Swords, the Magician, and Ten of Wands. From BTS perspective, we have Seven of Swords, Four of Wands, and Nine of Wands. So a lot of wands. And from the dynamic as an overall, we have the card of the Hierophant. The keyword is teach. So I guess they see each other, with the card of teach. We could say that their dynamic is very much based on them feeling like seeing each other as two groups that have the authority or have the enough experience to sort of teach others, like they are these teachers. They are in this period where it's not like they just started, so both of them have this sort of like it's official, that both groups are like somehow part of history of K-pop, in their different styles. So there's something about them like sort of not being just simple groups. Is more about both of them being authorities in their own rights and sort of being role models for other generations to come. So there's something, and also because it says the keyword is teach, there's something about like, they sort of see each other like the ones that sustained a tradition back then. I don't know what tradition is about, what the tradition is about, but there's something about them, we follow the rules at some point, and then eventually we became something else, but I think that they were part of a very rigid system. So I guess that this is why today they are like, okay, like now both groups are able to be their authority, where I can talk about my experience. I can talk about what it's like to be part of my group and what it's like to be this famous, what it's like to be this huge or this I don't know, to have the pressure of being famous. There's some authority. They see each other as authority. It's like they would listen to each other's story about like how was it for you back then. There's something about like you have something to tell, you have a story to tell, you have a lesson to share with other generations, and we do too. So there's like this very traditional respect. Yeah, from EXO perspective about BTS, they have the Queen of Swords, the Magician, and the Ten of Wands. So I think that what they think of EXO of BTS definitely is how smart BTS is, because we have the Queen of Swords. So there's something about them seeing BTS like this group that is so original, or that they're, I don't know, the beginning of their careers or how they transformed somehow was very original. Also the Magician, a very Gemini card. So, but also they have the Ten of Wands, so that the keyword is desolation. So I think that EXO is like, we have a huge respect about how they managed. And the Queen of Swords also talk about communication. So I guess they feel a sort of respect for BTS for being able to handle communication well. To be able to reach to the fans through this to also like have the fans getting to reason. So, and I think that they are like, they were able to take control of the narrative, and they were able to take control of the conversation and being like that to the fans, being like, okay guys, like, we want this from you, or we would like to do this with you. So, maybe back in the days, like the idols didn't have this honest conversation. Like, I don't know if it's conversation, but it's communication with the fans. It's like, guys, I have something to say. It's like, yeah, I'm an idol, but I have something to say that I wish that we could work together with the fandom, you and I, and they are like, I respect them so much because they were able to work with their fandom to get more intelligent or to get more agile, because the Ten of Wands, definitely they see BTS like, there's a part of them that they are like, they are huge, or they are always in control, or they are always creative, but there's a lot of pressure with being this big, and we know it. So the Ten of Wands is like, I admire them because I know they must be exhausted. I know they must feel the burden. And actually, the Ten of Wands is a card that I often get for BTS. I often, like, the Ten of Wands is always present for them. They always have the weight on their shoulders, But I think that when you have above this Ten of Wands, when you have the Magician, when you have the Queen of Swords, there's something about you being able to get to an agreement, to talk to the audience and being like, guys, this is going on with us. So how can we make this better? Can we construct another kind of relationship, or how can we evolve from this? So I think that they see BTS like this huge, I don't know if BTS, because I know that each group has a birth chart. So I believe that BTS, because of the day that they debuted, they are an earth sign, like BTS as a group has an earth sign placement, I believe. They are a Gemini group. So it makes sense that, they have the Magician, the Queen of Swords. It's like someone that is always in control of the communication. Okay, like, I want to make the communication with my fans fluid, and I want to talk, and I want to connect, and I want to let them know, and I want to hear what they say. So maybe from EXO perspective, to achieve this, maybe it wasn't that available back then, but they are like, this is what we admire from them. And from BTS perspective, about EXO, we have the 7 of Swords, the 4 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. So I think that definitely they see EXO as, with the 7 of Swords, definitely they see EXO as a group that went through a lot of uncertainty. They see the group that they went through a lot of, I don't know if they knew about this, that the 7 of Swords usually is someone like sort of trying to escape or running away from something. So I think that, I don't know if when I see this, it has to do with the uncertainty of, some members that left or something like this, and not knowing what is going on or what is going to happen. But they feel like EXO also went through a lot of moments of uncertainty that probably they didn't experience that themselves, but they admire, with the 4 of Wands and the 9 of Wands, they admire EXO's passion. EXO's passion, to be like, okay, like this is, we are what we are. Like, how many are we? Like, how many are we left? Are we 4? Well, okay, the 4 of us, we are going to come up with something. And also the 4 of Wands, the key here, the key word of the 4 of Wands is says completion. So there's something about them probably knowing that EXO members, they had gone through moments where they were like, they were sort of sabotaged, to not complete a task or to not finish something. And they see that at the end, they completed it. They did it successfully, even though the atmosphere for them had always been of uncertainty. At least from BTS perspective, is like, maybe, I don't know if some members of BTS had talked with some EXO members, and there was like, we had these issues, or or maybe it was noticeable that there were some even technical issues, like some interruptions in the middle. But with the 4 of Wands, there's this feeling of like they finished it. They finished the challenge. It was challenging for them, and they completed it. And maybe it has to do with them seeing the situation of EXO at the moment. Being like, completion is like, okay, yeah, we have some members that are sort of done with the same. But at the end, when they get together, they will finish the project. Even if they belong to different buildings, they will complete the task. And also, the 9 of Wands, the keyword is preparation. So the guys have this resilience, this very strong, accordingly from BTS perspective about them, this very strong resilience and preparation. Is like, for them, it's always a battle. But this is why they have a lot of wands. There's a lot of heavy discussions, there's a lot of aggression, there's maybe a lot of aggression also in, like, coming from some people about them, some people demanding EXO members certain things, and the guys are always light up. The guys are always on fire. The guys are always ready. They are always prepared for the storm to come. Even though they probably do not get rest, they probably feel the uncertainty, they probably feel burnout, but they're always like inspired. The fire is always, the passion is always ignited, it's always burning in them. Even when they refuse to do certain things, even when they are like, I don't want to do this anymore. But whatever decision they decide for the group or as a group, they do it with passion. They do it. They are not, At least from BTS perspective, they are like, okay, these guys are passionate. They are passionate. They are combative. Like they really, because they come from a place of uncertainty, of having to, sort of dodge the bullets, like, and just work with very few, and probably work under pressure. That's why we have all these ones in here, because it feels like as if you are being threatened. It's like, who works like that? Who evolves like this when you are under pressure all the time? When you feel suffocated. But since they are guys that are prepared, they had been trained for this, they're like, okay, I will show up, I will do my work, even though I hate it here. Because there's a lot of anger as well. With the fire, there's like, yeah, I will get my job done, but I want to let you know all that I hate you. Like, and probably they are like, those guys are very passionate. They are very passionate because they didn't have it easy. Oh, you can hear the thunderstorm? I thought that you couldn't. I thought that you couldn't hear it. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm just worried. I'm just worried that the power will go out. But let's pray. This is why I'm starting early, because I'm like, my hair is crazy. Okay, 17 and Blackpink. Okay, from 17 part, we start with the King of Swords, lot of swords, 6 of Swords, 5 of Wands, and then from Blackpink part, about 17, we have the Emperor, High Priestess, and the 9 of Wands again. So I think that from 7, and the card that is about their dynamic as an overall, we have the 2 of Pentacles, fine balance. So I think that each other, probably they met or they saw each other in a moment where both groups were trying to find balance, were trying to adapt to the industry. So I don't know why this sort of dynamic gives me the vibe that either, I don't know if it's 17 or if it's Blackpink, probably it's the girls, because I get that it has to do with the girls. Every time I read for Blackpink and other groups, it's not that they are like, oh, we don't know them, but I think that there's something that I always get about Blackpink, what they think of other groups. It's like they like other groups, they have nothing against other groups, but there's something about like, we don't have an opinion. Like it's not like I had been like pondering about it, like thinking of and observing them and be like, oh, I should have think that the girls is like, yeah, like they're nice, they're cool, but that's it, and the 2 the two of Pentacles. There's something about them, like, yeah, we met them like when we both were maybe like rookies or something like this, and there was like, yeah, we were both groups trying to make it. Yeah, they seem nice, yeah, but we were all very new, and there was something about us trying to find the right balance, and trying to have a sense of stability when we just started, and it felt new. It felt like there's this, oh, I have this old memory of us struggling and them struggling to find balance between, starting in this business and trying to adapt to whatever was asked of us. There's something about, I don't know if maybe the groups, they are like, we didn't have it easy like kids today. I don't know, I know it sounds old like to say that, but there's something about like we were just trying to make it. That's what I think about them. Like I see them trying to find balance, and we were also trying to find balance. So this is like a very fresh memory, like that's what they remember themselves from. It's like, yeah, it was tough. Like, yeah, it was tough. And yeah, from 17's perspective, with the queen, with the king of swords, definitely they see the girls are also very, very smart, very, very good with words, very good with communication. Just like the cards I pulled for BTS, the same. The six of swords, the card of change. There's something about them seeing the girls with this potential of them being able to have some authority, because the king of swords is like, the girls is like they were in a very masculine environment, like probably they had like a lot of authorities and older people, or maybe just their competition were a lot of men, like a lot of boy groups, a lot of like male energy, but they were also very masculine. They showed that, yeah, we are girls, but we also have authority. We also use our minds. We are sharp. We are intelligent. And the six of swords is like, we don't settle. We're always looking for change. The six of swords is like we get bored easily. We want to move on to the next new thing. It's like, yeah, we are not that attached to results, or to be like, oh yeah, I want to do this. This was great. No, the girls are always like very futuristic. Like, okay, what's next? I already got bored of this concept. What's next? But definitely, and also the five of wands, endeavor. The girls, this is the way 17 sees Blackpink, as these girls that they took matters into their hands. They were like, okay, if I'm not satisfied with certain things, I will talk about it. Or I will say something. Or I will do something. I will sort of also create a bit of chaos on purpose. So, there's something about them being like 17, seeing them like this very strong force, of being a bit of rebellion, a bit of rebellious girls, a bit of rebellious. Like they wouldn't be tamed, at least this is how they saw them. And probably, I don't know if maybe they met other girl groups, and maybe the other girls were a bit more shy, or they just didn't have the tools to communicate. There's something about them thinking that Blackpink, besides them having, the talent, the looks and everything that we know, there's something about them managing also, maybe the media, maybe conversations, maybe, talking different languages. It's like, the girls were ahead from the typical group back then. They had tools, and they had communication on their side, and they had it, and they used it to introduce change, to introduce a bit of chaotic energy even. It's like, yeah, I'm not a typical idol. Like, I don't settle for the typical things. I don't aspire for the typical things. Like, I want more. I want to do more, or I want to do something unexpected. And they definitely see them like, because of the King of Swords, there's something about them seeing the girls as probably the first ones, or the pioneers that were the ones that introduced for them, for their perspective, from their experience of seeing them, or maybe seeing them grow, or being like, we never seen like actually like, another girl group that achieved this as Blackpink did. So yeah. And then from Blackpink perspective, we have the Emperor, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Wands. So I think that definitely they saw the guys as this very masculine, this very strong energy. Probably because there's a lot of men, a lot of guys in the group, but they definitely saw the guys like really being very passionate, very passionate on stage, or very passionate, maybe they saw them live and they were like, oh my God, like these guys, like they really, like they put energy, like wow, like they look like, I don't know if you see this, if this emperor, like they look like Spartans, they look like they're going to war, like they're going to battle. There's something about them exuding this very domineering, this very like active warrior like energy. So definitely this is what this is how they see them. But also with the High Priestess and the Nine of Wands, there's this feeling of, like also for them, probably 17 is like, we don't know much about them. Like actually, yeah, we know that they work very hard, that actually they are very, like they are very passionate. We've seen them, we notice their strengths, we notice their great dynamic. But also for us with the High Priestess is like, yeah, but I don't know them that deep. When you don't know actually what's behind. Like we know that, yeah, that probably, and I think that when you see like the High Priestess and when you see the Nine of Wands, there's this feeling of like defensiveness, because I think that probably they didn't know much about the guys because of the reason that the guys were working very hard to make it. So the guys were busy. When we have the Nine of Wands, when we have the card of preparation, there's something about the guys giving it all. So I'm sure that they weren't over there like socializing with people because they were very busy, or they were very much like focused. Their whole energy was to perform or to practice. So it's like they weren't that, at least from Blackpink perspective, they weren't that out there. It's like I don't know about them. Like actually I don't know about them. Like I know about them, we've seen them, but not like especially in the first years, we didn't get to like see them just relax. We also seen them like even backstage. We also see them like fighting and being always like training, rehearsal, a lot of energy, and also a lot of tiredness, a lot of exhaustion, or maybe overworked even. A lot of pressure on these guys, definitely. And I think that, I don't know, this is why I say this, that when I think about this dynamic, if I see it from the girls' perspective, from Blackpink perspective, it seems like this is a memory from a long time ago. This is not about how they see them today. It's more like, oh, I remember when we once met them or we saw them in here, and their energy was like this, very passionate, very much in control, all of them working for one objective, very stable. But at the same time, backstage, there was this veil around them. It's like you cannot see much because they are busy trying to make it. So maybe this is trying, like the card that they got, trying to find balance in a very toxic and like very competitive kind of environment. Okay. Ateez and Stray Kids. Dynamic. Ateez. Stray Kids. A lot of major arcana, so I love it that their vision of each other is very profound. Is very profound. Like definitely, I love it that the two piles, like you have two major arcanas and one minor arcana, and it's very nice that I think that both groups are very intuitive about each other. They definitely observe each other, or maybe they just had the opportunity to work together many times, so they kind of know each other. So, and here I see much more proximity, definitely. Yeah. Wait, guys. Okay. So from Ateez's perspective, what do they think about Stray Kids? We start with the Seven of Cups, the Chariot, that is also a 7, and the Emperor. Very powerful. Then from Stray Kids' perspective, about Stray Kids, we have the Three of Cups, the Moon, and the Devil. And then from like their dynamic as an overall, we have the card of the Star. And in here the keyword is heal. So I think that is very sweet. It's a very loving, it's a very respectful perspective of each other, because they definitely see each other as this, you know, for example, for a Stray Kids perspective, there's something about, not from from Ateez's perspective, there's something about them, you know, with the Seven of Cups, I believe that there's something about them probably initially like having a lot of preconceptions about who Stray Kids is. You know, the Seven of Cups in here is about, like, keyword is imagination. So there's like probably when they met them, like for the first time, there's something about them having their own, like in their imagination, they were like, oh, I bet they are like this. But then they met them, you know, and also with the Seven of Cups, there's something about them probably seeing the guys a bit like distracted. You know, the Seven of Cups is a very dreamy, kind of like distracted, very Pisces energy. So probably when they met the guys, they were going through a period where they seemed to not be that present. Like, I don't know if maybe they tried to make conversations with them, and it seems like the guys weren't that connected with the now. You know, maybe they were worried, maybe they were under a lot of stress, and they were just like disconnected, you know. So they were like, oh wow, it seems like they really are not paying attention, you know. But then we have the Chariot and we have the Emperor. So then there's an evolution, you know. It seems like the initial perception that they had about Stray Kids from Ateez's perspective is like, look how much they had advanced. Look how much they had gained, because they finished with the Emperor. So probably this has to do also with Kingdom and them winning, you know. But there's an evolution, you know. I think that Ateez, or at least from their perspective, is like, okay, yeah, maybe when we started like talking with them, it seemed like the group wasn't that stable, or there was something in them that it seemed a bit like confusing. Like probably from Ateez's perspective, they were like, I don't know what to think about them. or I don't know, I'm just confused. But then they saw the guys advance, they saw the guys grow, they saw the guys become the emperor, become successful, become like the kings, you know, the emperor, the rulers of the scene. So there's like this huge, like this huge admiration. Is like, look how much they had advanced, you know, from this. I don't know if they met in the rookie era or like, but there's something about Ateez being like, you know, when we first met them, we didn't feel like they were that connected with themselves. Like they seem like very dispersed, their energy. But then with the chariot, there's something about like, yeah, and then, you know, we changed our mind because we saw them advance and we saw them achieve everything, and they became stronger. They became the emperor. They are warriors. They are definitely they are like one of the groups that are like the rulers of the scene right now. So definitely they are like, you know, they also see them like, also them probably like exuding this confidence on you know, on the scene, or maybe on when they perform, you know, this very masculine, this very raw energy of like, here we are and we are the best and we believe it and we know it, you know, this confidence. They saw the guys sort of like going through this very like, I don't know what to think about them, to wow, they are the emperor, like they really are winners. So, you know, it's great. It's great. Yeah, and from a Stray Kids perspective about 80s, with the Three of Cups, the Moon, and the Devil, I think that they also have this very like, also with the Moon is like, I don't know what to think about these guys as well. But they start with the Three of Cups. So definitely one thing that probably caught the attention of Stray Kids about 80s is 80s ability to enjoy. You know, we have the Three of Cups, the keyword is joy. So it's like these guys really enjoy to be on the stage. These guys really enjoy working together, or these guys really enjoy to be doing this. You know, there's something about like the first thing we thought about them is like how much they enjoy. They're able to enjoy doing this, you know, and show excitement in very routinary situations. I don't know if they were like, oh my God, like these guys are like a lot, you know, like wow, like they are really excited to be here, like you know, like what's going on with that, you know. And I believe that it was a bit like, it's strange, you know, like I first thought also with the Moon, there's this feeling of like, are they for real or are they like exaggerating? Are they faking it for the cameras or are they really having fun? You know, this sort of like very distrustful kind of vibe. Like, I don't know if what I'm seeing is correct of them, if they really are like this or they do it for the show. You know, like, so they had their, you know, like, yeah, like everything is cool with you. But at the same time, I'm like, are you for real or are you doing it for the cameras, you know? But then we have the Devil. So definitely I believe that probably their distrustfulness sort of dissipate because what they saw of the guys is just pure ambition. Is that they see that Ateez is a very Capricorn kind of, you know, because of the Devil, is a very ambitious group. It's a guy that is a group that always wants to be on top and always wants to be the best of the best. And that they don't compete with others. They compete with themselves. You know, the Devil is about like, okay, how can I be better? I want to be better than my old version. It's not that I'm like, you know, competing with the others. But I think that it's very interesting that maybe they also didn't expect the guys to be this competitive, you know, and actually being like, oh, wow, they're really ambition number one. They are really thirsty. They really want this. And they are like, these guys are determined. You know, also the Devil is like very is like very ambitious, very ambitious. And it's like they don't let go, they don't let go. Even if the battle is over, they will always try to keep fighting, like very, very relentless. Yeah, and their connection with the car of the star, that it says heal. I think that both of the groups are also seeing each other, or probably they saw or they witnessed each other trying to heal from something. Maybe they have in common, or they had witnessed each other being in very vulnerable moments where, the spotlight, the fame, everything, because there's a lot of concentration of energy in here, coming from both groups, about being this dominating group and maybe being this energetic sort of alpha kind of a group. They like this kind of group, you have to put a lot of passion, or a lot of energy, you have to command the stage, you have to always be physically ready. Like, it feels very heavy, it feels very challenging. Like, you always have to have like this, like I said, this Spartan kind of, this warrior kind of energy. It's not that you're just going to perform, no, you're going to sort of like embody the energy of a warrior. So probably they have in common also that probably Stray Kids and also Ateez members, they had to heal literally from even physical wounds, even having accidents, or even just hurting themselves. I know that idols hurt themselves in a lot of situations because, the choreographies are very demanding. But I think that when it comes to their dynamic, they remember healing together. They remember healing together. And I think that probably has to do with Kingdom and Kingdom era. And I think that about this, now I remember that back then, when they were on Kingdom, both groups had the absence of one member. Mingi was also in hiatus, I remember, if I'm not wrong, I don't remember exactly. And also Hyunjin was also in hiatus. So, there's something about them, like, we really, at some point, we connected because both groups, we were trying to heal. We were trying to heal in very challenging situations. We were trying to heal. And I believe they did heal. They did heal afterwards. But they have this sentiment in common of, like, if they think of each other, they think of, like, yeah, we went through a lot, both groups, and we just wanted to heal. We just wanted to get out of this and just start brand new. I don't know how, but they were like, we were all on this process of healing. And I believe that they did. It's funny because reading for them, I even feel like, like I'm sweating. Like, as I'm talking about them, I feel the also the need to always be on fire, and it's demanding. Okay, I'm going to pull cards for Somni and Espa Giselle. I don't know if they're friends, but yeah, let's see their dynamic. Somni. Giselle. They're friends? Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, seeing this from here, I don't know if they are allowed to hang out. There's something here, like, yeah. And also to confirm this, I got the third eye chakra. So I guess this card is for me. It's like whatever your intuition, your third eye is letting you know, you're correct about these two. Um, yeah, and also it can be that maybe both of them are very sensitive when they are together. Like somehow they can see through appearances and they know how the other one is doing without actually talking that much. You know, there's a lot of intuition between the both of them. But I also see a lot of blockages. Like I think that maybe they can be intuitive around each other, but there's, I don't know, I feel the energy of a lot of people in the middle. So, you know, if they're friends, I see a lot of intermission. Like I see a lot of interruptions from others. Like from Somi's perspective, we start with the Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, and the Ten of Wands. Then from Giselle, we start with the Hierophant, we start with the Company card, so definitely the Company is here. The Hermit, and the Ace of Wands. So, see, you pull cards for an essence group, and who shows up? The Company. So the Company knows who you hang out with, and they sort of dictate like when you can hang out or not. And the third eye chakra for their connection. So yeah, both very sensitive girls, both of them in this connection. Yeah, from, I don't know, from Sumi's perspective, I think that she, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers, I don't see much stability. Like yeah, they can be friends, but I'm like, she changes friends a lot. Like there's something about her, like, yeah, like I had a great time with you, and then, you know, I'm moving on to my other friend. Like it seems like she probably she has a lot of friends from the industry, so, you know, it seems like a roulette, you know, like the Wheel of Fortune. Like, yeah, it was great, like talking to you, and then you know, she moves on to another to another person. And I don't know. I feel like also with the Lovers, there's something about her also changing her mind about Giselle. I don't know if there are moments where they are super close, and there are moments where she doesn't know what to think about her. Like, and also the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands, here the keyword is oppression. So maybe there's something about her being like, you know, every time we hang out, I feel oppressed. Like, and I think that probably has to do with the same, it has to do with the Company, because there's something about them having sort of Giselle in a lockdown. So I feel like there's something about probably Somi wants to maybe explore their options and be like, let's go here, let's do this. You know, her energy feels very energetic, like she changes all the time, she gets bored easily. So with the Ten of Wands, the keyword is oppression. So there's something like, you know, every time we have to hang out, I feel like we are on you know, in jail. Like we cannot go out, or when we go out, we have a lot of, you know, people around us. So there's something like I feel oppressed, like I cannot breathe. And I'm worried about you. You know, there's something about their third eye chakra being like, sort of like also like being activated when they are together. It's like, you're not telling me everything. What is going on with you? Like, even though we didn't talk about this, I know there's something going on with you. So definitely both girls are very intuitive. But she's like, you know, I want to do more with you, but I feel like we cannot go anywhere. So, and also from Giselle part, yeah, we have the Hierophant card, and we have the Hermit, and we have the Ace of Wands. So I think that also the Hermit definitely lets you know that it's like she wants to go out more, she wants to do more, with Somi, but she can't. And also with the Ace of Wands, probably Giselle is much more busy. She's busier than Somi. So there's something with the Ace of Wands potency, probably Giselle is working on something already, a comeback or something for the girls. So this is why she's sort of in a lockdown, or she's sort of in a dungeon, because she's practicing, or because, I don't know. I think that I said this when I read. I remember someone once asked me for a dynamic reading between NCT Dream and aespa. And I also got this vibe, like, from NCT Dream members being like, we never see the girls, because actually, like, it seems like they are always, like, either they're rehearsing in another hour, or they keep them somewhere else, because we rarely see them. So it's not that they are, like, being held hostage, but I think that they sort of keep the girls, like in another places, and they probably made them train, or they put them on courses or classes. So the girls are very busy on their careers. With the Ace of Wands, it's like, yeah, I'm sort of inside my house, or I'm inside this building, because I'm practicing, because I have a comeback soon, so I cannot. But yeah, with the Hierophant on top, it is the company again. It's the company dictating when you can go out and with whom you're going to go out. There's limitations, definitely, there's limitations. Okay. I'm going to read for Enhypen and TXT dynamic. Okay. TXT. Enhypen. Okay. From a TXT perspective about Enhypen, we have the Devil, Four of Pentacles, and the Magician. And from Enhypen perspective about TXT, we have the Two of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Five of Wands. They always get the Five of Wands, TXT. I wonder what is going on. Like, who is fighting who? Because there's always, like, oh my. And the dynamic for them, for these two groups, we have the Nine of Swords. In this card, the keyword is Darkest Fears. So, I think that from TXT perspective about Enhypen, starting with the Devil, the Four of Pentacles, and the Magician, they definitely see a lot of potential on the guys, and they also see that the guys, because there's a lot of major arcana here, so they see Enhypen as this group that is very ambitious. This group that is also very, like, they are very career orientated. Like, there's something about them just not knowing what to think about them emotionally, when it comes to personalities. But when it comes to work, they see that the guys have this very strong magnetism. They have this strong desire to make it. And also the devil, I think about this ambitious group, but also I think that they are fearless. There's something about TXT and Enhypen as like, these guys have no fear. Even if they have to sort of like get the courage to say no to things or just not do things. There's this very Capricorn stubborn vibe of like I do what I want. So there's a bit of respect. From TXT, it's like these guys are powerful. They are really powerful. Like we are really amazed. Also with the Four of Pentacles, it does give me stubborn vibes. It does give me this group that is like once they hold on to something, they don't let go. So probably, TXT sees them. And also the Magician is like, these guys always get away with their things or with their opportunities because they are very smart. They held on very tight to maybe their opinions or what they want to do, and then at the end they adapt, or they are able to convince maybe some higher ups or some CEOs or the audience or whoever. Is like they are able to sort of get on top of certain decisions. They recognize that Enhypen is like very is this very strong and playful force, but at the same time, the guys are very smart. The guys are very smart, are very, it's like yeah, they follow the rules, but at the same time, they always get what they want. It's like it's not like they're going to argue with some people, but with their posture, they show that they are against certain things or that they just don't want to do certain things. So with the Magician, it's also, very playful, very Gemini energy. It's like, yeah, like, I know my rights or I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, like I'm very smart. So they probably admire a lot that about them. Hypen just being this very, I don't know if it's business smart, but it's like they always like know how to juggle different demands, and also like to have a certain dominion over certain authorities. I don't know why. I get this that they resist certain things. It's like probably they notice that they are, I don't know, they are being told like you have to rehearse more or you have to do this, and they're like, yeah, I will go and do it, yeah, whatever, and they don't do it, or they end up doing what they want and how they want it. So there's a bit of rebellious vibe, but they do it so well that they trick others into believing that it was their idea initially. So they are great to sort of like play the power game. With the devil, I see that they are like, the guys are very smart in this. They definitely, this is what they stand up. They really, their energies are, they are not just children. They are very intelligent. They know how to play. They know how to play. Yeah, and from a Hypen perspective about TXT, a lot of ones. Two of Wands, Dominion, Ace of Wands, Potency, Five of Wands, Endeavor. So I think that from a Hypen's perspective, definitely they see TXT as a group that they always have the energy. They always have the energy. They always have the strength. They always have the potency. It's like the guys probably like they never rest. There's something about them like, always starting over, because I see all these ones and I'm like, these are very low numbers, like we start with the Ace of Wands, that is like the start, the Ace of Wands, then we have the Two of Wands, that is like, okay, I'm there, and then we have the Five of Wands. So it's like, it definitely shows that they see TXT as this very passionate group, and also this group that probably was like starter, like the one that initiated everything. The one that when they have a comeback or when they have to start something new, their energy, like the energy that they exude and the passion that they show, is so strong. Like it never runs out. They never run out of energy. And this is all I see, like here, like they probably see the guys rehearse a lot, or they see them like always like doing a lot. But also with the Five of Wands, in here it says endeavor. But the Five of Wands, I think that probably also in Hypen is they see that the guys have strong opinions about certain things, that probably if they are very outspoken over things where they are not that comfortable with certain things. I don't know if maybe Enhypen had seen TXT members like getting into an argument with some authority or with someone, but it's like, the guys also have their challenges. This is why they have to keep the energy up, because otherwise, if they don't do it, people walk over them. Because if we have the Ace of Wands, I'm sorry, we have the Ace of Wands, that is like potency, is like the beginning, is being very passionate. Then we have the Two of Wands, that the keyword is dominion. It's about like them always having to show this very brave front or this very proactive front, because they have to fight. They have to defend what is theirs, or they have to show a passionate attitude. They cannot be passive. There's something about them seeing TXT about like, the guys cannot just be passive and just wait, for someone to give them, it's like, okay, I'm going to sit over here and wait until you give me my new concept. No, they're always practicing. They're always very proactive. It's like, I will go and I will train or I will rehearse first, or I will do this. They're the first ones. Probably if they have to go to a certain event, TXT members are the first ones to be there. There's something about them being just like very passionate about, not slowing down. Like they're always like high in energy. Sort of in a rush, I would say, that it feels very anxious vibe. It's like, okay, I have to always be ready just in case. But this is how they see them, very action orientated. But yeah, their dynamic, we have the Nine of Swords. That is Darkest Fear. So I think that their dynamic is, I don't know, I think that the Nine of Swords often has to do with fears. This is why we have it here, that it says Darkest Fears. So I think that probably both groups, I don't know if they fear about their future, or they fear about certain thing, but probably there's something about them just, this very, they worry. They worry about each other. They worry. Like, are the guys okay? And it's vice versa, it's this feeling of like, are the guys doing okay? Or probably when they talk, because I see that they know each other, they're close. Probably, what comes up the most in their conversations is their fears, is their darkest fears, is what they fear the most. So this is what they have in common, that there's a sense of like, I am afraid. There are moments where I am afraid about us. I'm afraid about our future. I'm afraid that I'm not good enough. I'm afraid that I will not be able to make it. So there's this sense of like, we know each other's darkest fears. So definitely, probably the two groups, they confide in each other, but they also, despite of them having this very warrior-like, because they also show me this very high energy, but with that high energy, with that high performance or high quality in in being an artist, there's this also this level of, you know, when everything is over and I'm on my own, and you know, and I connect with how I feel afterwards, I have fears. I fear maybe what happens if I make a mistake, what happens if I'm not good enough, what happens if, you know, if my group doesn't do well. You know, there's a lot of expectations on them, and they share these fears. They share these fears. So this is their dynamic. Okay, now let's move on to the dynamic between SM and JYP. Okay, from SM we have the Lovers, Queen of Cups, and Three of Wands. From JYP we have the Chariot, Two of Cups, and Five of Cups in reverse. And then from their dynamic, we have the card of the Nine of Wands, that in here the keyword is rest and reconsider. So, with the Nine of Wands as their dynamic, definitely what I think is that for a long time, they were very wary of each other. They were very much on the defensive about each other. But they have much more in common than what they think. It's just that there's this very, like, probably they were hit a lot of times. They were like, I don't want to say like they went through the same, because both of them see their dynamic differently, but I think that they have much more in common than what they think. You know, there's this huge need to differentiate themselves, you know, so I wonder what's happening here, because it's like, no, I'm not like them, but actually, yes. Yes, because, you know, the Nine of Wands is often someone that, you know, you could have had a better interaction with them, or you can have a better relationship, but because you were so exhausted, or you were always busy, or you were always on the defense, and you were always protecting yourself from different attacks. It's like you think that everyone is the same, but no, actually not. I think that probably eventually they're going to start over, but now it's like, you know, they come to the point where they sort of mirror each other. I don't know why. I don't know if they have something in common, but yeah. From SM perspective about JYP, we have the Lovers, the Queen of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So I think that there's an openness to to talk, to I think that they have business together. They have a family. Like I remember when I got this for SM and Hype back then, a long time ago, because there's cops in here. So I wonder if they know each other because there's some family bonds in here. There's some familiarity in here. So I wonder if there's someone that is married to someone and that the person works at SM and SM has someone that works at JYP, so they know of each other. Definitely they know of each other. And with the card of the Queen of Cups, there's this very compassive view. Is like, like I actually see them like they went, like JYP went through a lot, or they are, it's not like they have, like, it's like they're compassionate. It's like, oh yeah, like I don't have anything negative to say about them. And also with the Three of Wands, there's a lot of respect about them, SM to JYP, because it's all about, JYP also standing on business. The Three of Wands is about endeavors. It's about, never losing your ambition, or never losing your objective or your goal, and always aspiring for more, and always being very passionate about it. So probably, there's this very motherly sentiment of them contemplating JYP and being like, oh well, like, I mean, they're doing their best, they are doing their best, they are continuing working, so there's respect in this. I respect this, I respect this. I respect that they continue going, that they still, until this day, they aspire, to keep working, to keep, the Three of Wands is literally endeavors. It's literally like, I'm already working on something new. Even, maybe because we have the Lovers. So there's something about them probably like seeing also JYP as, it's not that the company is shady, but there's this inconsistency. It's like, I don't know what to think about what you're doing, but if I have to pay attention and observe what you're doing or where you're going with your vision, I kind of admire you that you still have your vision and that you're still going. You're still active. He's still creating something new. He's not stopping. So probably, also Sam having this Queen of Cups perception, this view, this very holistic view, this very peaceful view. It's like, yeah, I wish I had that the dynamism, that passion that he has, because, yeah, that's cool. I admire that. Probably they should, they like, I don't know why I get that SM seems so passive in comparison to JYP, but yeah, they are a queen nevertheless. They are a queen, but they see them, with sort of like with affection, like, oh, he's trying, like and yeah, from JYP perspective about SM, we have the Chariot. We have the Two of Cups. So this is why I'm like, there's an emotional connection in here. They are family. I'm sure they know of each other. They have family in common. They have cousins, someone's husband is someone's nephew. I don't know. There's a connection here, definitely. And then we have the Five of Cups in reverse. So I think that definitely JYP sees there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love for SM. I think that it's not about SM, the building. It's more about what SM represents for K-pop, probably. There's this feeling of like, I will always love them, or I will always my love will always advance for them. JYP also sees them as this force, with the Chariot, as this very, this force that just keeps going through generations and generations, and it just keeps going. And there's something like, there's a sort of like there's a mirroring in here. If you see the Two of Cups, there's these two people mirroring each other, sort of like looking at each other, but you see that sorry guys, I'm back. The cup is like a bit of like a silver cup, like a silver chalice. So there's like, you know, you and I, we are the same. So I feel a nostalgia. You know, I feel nostalgic. I feel nostalgic when I think about you, when I think about your successes, when I think about how you keep going despite of everything. And there's like this also this respect, because there's like, you know, they I respect that they kept the tradition. They kept K-pop as K-pop, you know, or they kept the K-pop recipe as a K-pop. I don't know. But yeah, with the five of cups in reverse, I think that they are healing from something, because the five of cups often talks about regret, but since this is in reverse, I think that he's sort of they are getting over something. So I wonder if JYP has some regrets about the SEM. Probably, I don't know if they wanted to collaborate with SM, or they wanted to participate in SM, in acquiring something from SM. You know, it's like, you know, I wanted this. Like, I wanted to associate with you. You know, I wanted to do this with you. But, you know, I couldn't, or you, like, I feel disappointed that. And probably that also makes the connection very weird, because I feel like there's some emotional connection. Maybe they get along, or some people from different companies get along. So there's like, I wanted something from you. I wanted this for me. I wanted you to choose me, and you didn't. So with the five of cups, it's like, I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it that yeah, either I didn't take the opportunity, or you didn't give me the opportunity. But I think that after that, probably the connection was a bit like, it was weird. It was weird. And it had never, like, until this day, probably it's not the same. So I wonder if they wanted to collaborate, or if they wanted to, at some point, do business together. And there's this feeling of like, you know, I thought we were friends, or I thought that we had something, you know, I thought that you would consider me, but, you know, you didn't. So, you know, you play with my feelings, like very emotional. But yeah, with the Nine of Wands, rest and reconsider. I think that, yeah, they should stop with being, you know, there's something about them being a bit exaggerating, you know, being a bit exaggerated, especially being emotional, like, you know, you owe me this, or, you know, you promised this to me and you didn't, like, I don't know, it's just petty behavior. And I think that they have much more in common in this dynamic than what they think. I think that they should slow down a bit and not be so on the defensive, like, you know, I have problems, you know, in my company. And yeah, it's like, yeah, the other company also has problems. So, you know, it's not that you are the only one with problems. SM was founded in Aquarius season in JYP is Taurus. Oh, JYP feels so earth related. Oh, so stubborn, so stubborn. Don't tell people that, or they're gonna ship JY Park and Lee Soo-man. Yeah, probably, like, I don't know, maybe when Lee Soo-man left, there was like this void, like, you know, maybe relationships weren't the same anymore. Okay. I'm going to wait. I'm going to continue with Enhypen, Sunghon, and Wonyeon of Hype. Sunghon, Wonyeon. Okay. Okay. From Sunghon's perspective about Wonyeon, we start with the four wands, the sun, and the page of swords. And then from from Wonyeon perspective, we have the Ace of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and Justice. And their dynamic, we have the Ace of Wands, New Vitality. So I think that from Sunghun's, I always forget his name. From Sunghun's perspective, definitely she has the sun card, so she's beautiful. Like definitely, she's like the sun. You know, she appears and it's like everything is magic. But yeah, I think that his perception of her, or when he had interactions with her, we start with the four of wands. That I think that it's someone that also has a good vibe. You know, she probably is very positive. She's also someone that has a lot of energy. You know, she probably is someone that, you know, the four of wands in here, the keyword is completion. So there's this feeling of her being very devoted to the task. You know, if they have to do something, there's something about her just, you know, bringing the energy, bringing the positivity, you know, just being, and this is actually very beautiful because if you see the sun card, like there's two people dancing, like, I don't know why I think about them. You know, just being in the spotlight, you know, just having fun. And yeah, I think that they definitely make each other shine, and I think that he appreciates that she gave him the space to shine as well. But definitely she has a lot of like magnetism. So he sees her like this very bright star. You know, she probably has a lot of presence. You know, it's not just about beauty. You know, she's also very committed to her role. Also, the page of swords, there's this feeling of her being very sharp, very intelligent, you know, and also very much, I would say she's very much focused on what she has to say, or if she has to study something, she probably is a great student. Like she gets very much, like she can be an entertainer, but I think that she's also very studious when it comes to how she has to communicate, and she takes care a lot of the way she communicates, you know. So I think that for him, definitely his perception of her is that she's a great entertainer. You know, there's something about her being very, very professional, and for him, it definitely feels like, you know, when he worked with her, there's this sort of relief when you work with someone that is so professional or is so prepared, is so well prepared. Someone that, yeah, she is a star, or she is like, you know, the sun, you know, she has this potential to shine, but she also is someone that is very intelligent, or she is like very studious. You know, she knows what she's doing, she prepares herself, so she's much more than a pretty face, you know. But so I think that he probably, what he saw is that you know, with the page of swords, there's this also tendency to get a bit like worried about like, okay, I have to study or I have to prepare myself mentally. So probably, when it comes to dynamic, he felt like, okay, she was very much into, practicing and just being better and just getting everything perfect. So it feels like, it's not that, oh, wow, like this was a connection that I felt this about her, and I felt this about her, actually, no, she felt very like, when you have to study something with someone or just work with someone, and it's just like it's very professional, it doesn't feel like like romance. No, not at all. It feels fraternal. It feels like like, yeah, we both are going to make each other shine. This is our moment. This is great. I prepare myself a lot from this, and I think that for him, from his perspective, he values this, because probably he was worried himself. So he's like, she's so intelligent. She's so intelligent. Then, from Wonyo's perspective about Sunghun, we start with the Ace of Cups. That the Ace of Cups, the keyword is beauty. So definitely she sees him as this very beautiful, attractive guy. The Two of Pentacles is unity, and then justice. So this is also like, I think that she definitely saw him that he is a bit much more, I wouldn't say emotional, but I think that she saw in him like, probably he was a guy that was in his own way and style. He was like open to work the dynamic with her. It's like, okay, like whatever you need, I will adapt to what you need. With the unity, the Two of Pentacles, there's this sense of like, tell me how you want me to do this, how you want me to manage this, like, let's do this. Like, but definitely he's a very beautiful guy. There's something about his aura that feels very beautiful. He also probably, he has a very feminine beauty, even though it seems like he also is a bit rigid, because with the justice, I think that he's also someone that he's trying to find balance all the time. So he's like very worried about like, okay, you give me this, I have to give it back. Like we have to do this, okay, I have to return the favor. So it's like he's very worried about the others, how the others are going to feel. So she sort of saw him like someone very empathic, as well, but at the same time someone that just make a great team with her, just made a great team with her, definitely, because she felt the unity, she felt like both of them had like the same vision. And also with the justice, very balanced guy, very truthful, very honest. Also probably, a bit distance, because when I see that she got, the Page of Swords and he got the Justice. The Justice reminds me of Libra behavior. So it's like, yeah, they were diplomatic with each other. They were nice. They were, decent with each other. But I think that often this has to do with them being very professional. And I think that this is their work ethic talking. It's like, yeah, they're both young, they're both successful, they're both beautiful, but at the same time, and at the end of the day, in their connection, there's something about responsibility. So it's like, yeah, I'm not fooling around here because we are working or we are creating something together. So there's this seriousness, there's this seriousness and this need to deliver it perfectly. Nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, their connection, the Ace of Wands. Then I think that with the card of the Ace of Wands, eventually when they started to work more often, they began to relax and they began to feel the excitement to work together. Definitely they have chemistry. They have chemistry. I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be surprised like if they were cold. I don't know, maybe they were, I don't know guys. I don't follow both of them. But if they worked together in the past, maybe they can work together again, because the Ace of Wands is new beginnings all over. It's like new vitality. So I wonder if there could be a possibility of them working on a similar project together, because I think that it all started very rigid, very, very like too serious, too serious. But I think that it has to do with their characters. Maybe both of them are like this, but in their own way, they started to feel the excitement to work together. At first, I believe it was awkward. At first, there was a lot of pressure. Like, I don't want to disappoint anyone. This is important for me. So yeah, guys, definitely we're talking here about people that work in the business. So this is not like a walk in the park. But yeah, about the dynamic, I don't see them like just hanging out in a informal place. So I don't know. I just see this in their dynamic that is work related. I have no place to write down the timestamps. Okay. Okay, let's move on to TXT Juno and Kim Jae-jung. Okay. From TXT Juno, we have the cards of the Three of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and Justice. From Kim Jae-jung's side, we have the Ten of Pentacles. No, Ten of Cups, sorry. Ten of Cups, Page of Wands, and Ace of Cups. And then the connection as an overall, we have Ace of Pentacles, success. And it says strengthening bonds. So in here, I believe there's a possibility of them working together or just like being seen together. Because from Juno's perspective, with the Three of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and Justice, I think that from about Jaehoon, there's this feeling of like, justice was made finally, and I'm happy for him. With the Three of Cups, there's something about like finally the Wheel of Fortune turned, and he got the justice that he wanted. So there's usually when I read for Juno, he's not that emotional. He's like and I believe I read for him in Jaehoon at some point. But it wasn't that flexible. I think that it seemed very distant. But now from his side, he seems a bit much more flexible. Like his perception of Jaehoon seems much more like compassive. You know, it's like, I'm happy that he's getting the justice that he wants, or that he deserved, or that he was waiting for. So, and also the Wheel of Fortune is a 10th card, you know, it's a 10th card. It's the card number 10. So it's all about like cycles of 10 years, you know, something just finally be over. Finally been over. So there's a sense of like, I'm happy for him. And I think that to see emotions in Juno is like, probably he's feeling a bit nostalgic, and probably for him, this whole, because he also got a lot of major arcanas, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, the Justice. Maybe for him is also a moment where he's like, you know, we are healing, you know, we are moving on, you know, we are turning the page finally, or he's turning the page. So I'm happy for him. This is my perception. So I see him a bit much more like emotionally, like I see him like feeling sensitive about this. You know, it's not like, oh yeah, I see what Jehun is doing. Oh, I see how he's doing, and yeah, you know, that's cool. There's an emotional component in here. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, from Kim Jae-hoon's perspective about Juno, with the Ten of Cups, the Page of the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, definitely I think that Jaehoon feels like a huge emotional success. You know, he feels like it's not about money; it's more about an emotional fulfillment that is so strong that he also waited like 10 plus years. This is why we have also a 10 in here. You know, it wasn't an easy road; it was a long one. And he feels like, you know, it's time for transformation. It's time for us to open our hearts. So I believe that they are talking. Like there's something and with the Ace of Cups, I'm feeling an invitation. So, you know, I know that fans often speculate about this, and sometimes, you know, I know that there are some people that are against this, and they're like, no, it's never going to happen, or no, it's never, you know, I don't think it's going to happen, I don't want this to happen, you know, whatever. But I think that both of them are feeling very open to talk about how they feel now. And from what I'm seeing, it feels very encouraging. It feels very sensitive. It feels like the moment is right. You know, when the timing is right, you know, when you finally are like, yeah, this was a long ride, right? Right? Like, there's not opposition, you know, there's not opposition to a reunion. There's like, things it's not about healing. I think that probably they had been working, or they had been working about, or they had been talking about how they felt about all this, about each other. I think that if this is about having a forgiveness or a reconciliation, I believe they had been talking about this alone, like a while. It's just that this doesn't have to do with them being seen together. It more has to do with them talking privately. But there's this feeling of like, you know, I don't mind if people knows. Like, I don't mind if people knows how I feel about you. Or I don't mind people, like, for me to talk about you on public television, or just, you know, just on the internet to talk about you. Like, I'm okay with you. Like, I'm okay, and actually, like, I'm genuinely happy about you. But I think that there's a possibility, there's a strong need for them to sort of start new and start something, and sort of transform something about their connection. I don't see them hiding something. You know, I didn't get cards that is like, oh, what I'm seeing is hidden. No. I think that they had been working on this. They had been maybe talking to each other, or they probably had made up a long time ago. It's just that now, probably this year, it feels that the atmosphere feels very fitting, very suiting for a reunion or a reconciliation. Because we have the Ace of Pentacles that is strengthening bonds. So strengthening bonds is this, strengthening a bond that actually has been there. The bond has been there. It's just about strengthening it. And I think that both of them are feeling very emotional for each other. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you see them, or if they talk about them. Hey, Samara. Okay. Next dynamic is for actress Jeon I'm sorry, I'm butchering her name. Jeon and Twice Momo. Jeon and Twice Momo. Yeah, from this actress' perspective, Jeon So, about Momo, we have the King of Pentacles, the Tower, and the World. And then from Momo's perspective, about the actress Jeon So, we have the Six of Wands, the Sun, Seven of Wands. Definitely, like, wow, Momo thinks that she's very famous, like she's very successful. And then the connection, the dynamic, they got the Nine of Wands, rest and reconsider. So I think that they're starting with the dynamic, with the card of the Nine of Wands, definitely, like, I don't know if they talk or if they just interact that much, because it seems like both of them are equally exhausted. This is why we have the card of rest and reconsider. See? Like, the card is like, if you guys are going to meet or are going to hang out, please make sure to do it in a season or in a time where both of you are in good condition. I feel like there's something about not just Momo, because we know that they're always on tour, but probably, there's some challenges when it comes to them meeting. Probably this actress is also exhausted. Like, she also has like some, either she's like already working on a new project, or she just finished a project and now she's starting something new. Like definitely her energy also feels very relentless. Because from Momo's side, I also feel like she sees her like very victorious and successful, but at the same time, I feel like she sees that the woman is very passionate about her career, and I don't know if maybe there's something about them wanting to meet, but both of them just not having the energy to, or maybe if they talk and if they interact, there's something about them always talking about how tired they are. In their dynamic, probably both of them have in common this need to rest and reconsider their next move. It's just that the Nine of Wands, the rest and reconsider. This is why sometimes with this deck I don't agree with this text, sometimes with the keyword that it has, because it's too simplistic. It's too simplistic. The Nine of Wands usually shows, a whole journey of someone that, yeah, it would be nice to rest, to sit and reconsider, but I can't. I can't. I have to work. The time is now. The opportunity is now. They need me. They need of my energy. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's challenging, but they need me. They need me. And even though I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm annoyed, I need to continue. I need to keep working. I need to keep producing. This is what I do. This is how I function. This is the way I move, So I think that both of them probably have in common that physically their projects are very demanding. So there's something about both of them putting the body to work. The ones often show like a very physical effort. It's not just like, oh yeah, I just sit here and I look pretty, or I just say pretty words and I sing something nice and that's it. Me with my vocals. No, this is more like, I cannot see it. I cannot see it. I'm always jumping. I'm always like, exercising. I'm always like, punching someone. Like I'm always on the move and I'm always active. And I'm in charge of the energy. If they are part of, I don't know, a project or a group, I'm always the energy bank. I'm always like, I cannot have the pleasure or, I cannot have my relaxed moment of being like, today I'm just going to sit in the back while all of you perform, because I just want to rest and reconsider. No. So probably they both have this in common, that usually their bodies, it's not about them, not having the need or the intention to see each other more often. It's more that probably their bodies, when they have to rest or they have the opportunity to rest, they cannot get up. When you are your body is so, on the limit that you just sit and you fall asleep there, seated, because you are lacking energy because you put all your energy in work, and people know you for your energy, so you cannot stop, But yeah, about how does this actress Jeon So, how does she sees Momo? With the King of Pentacles, definitely she sees Momo like this very stable force, and is this is someone that is always growing, someone that is always like prosperous, and it's always like has like her talents are always growing, she's always been better and better and better, and there's something about consistency, maybe she's like, I admire Momo because she never lets me down, like every comeback is better or every performance is better. So there's something about like she is a king, like it's not about her being a queen, she is a king. Like for me, she is much more than a girl that dances. No, she is a king, she's a king. She's a master of her element. She's a master of her resources. She is like grounded. She is consistent. She never fails you. But yeah, also with the tower and the world, she probably is also seeing how probably Momo went through a lot of challenges, maybe accordingly to her perspective. There's something about her being like, I know that Momo had it tough at some point. You know, I know that she's very stable, and I admire her because she survived the tower moments. You know, she survived a few moments where, you know, for some reason people just wanted to, you know, bring her down, or some people just wanted to knock her out of her stardom and her stability. So I admire how she was able to, you know, sort of, if she had to rebuild herself again, she has to get up again, she does it. She does it because she knows what it's like to go through moments of, you know, where you think that you are stable, and all of a sudden there's criticism, there's something, you know, that people just want to drag you down, you know, like these people falling, these people panicking, you know. It's like she knows about Momo's story, and she admires her the most because of how she's able to overcome this. And also with the Car of the World, there's a feeling of Momo being international. You know, like the world is like, you know, she doesn't have like, she's like worldwide, you know. She's like the mix of different different, it's not about races, it's more about styles. It's more like you cannot put her in a box and be like, oh, she's this or she's that. No, she's always changing, she's always adapting, she's always moving. You know, the world, she's always full. For her, Momo is a star, is a person that she's always full. She always has different influences, you know. And when you think like, oh no, she cannot do that because that's not her style. Oh, she goes and does it. So there's this strong, this very strong spiritual connection that she has with Momo's attitude, the talent, of course. There's others like wow. And probably with the world, there's something about her, like knowing that you know, that maybe Twice is touring internationally, so she's like, you know, she's worldwide. Then from Momo's perspective, yeah, about this actress, Jo Jung-so, we have the Six of Wands, Victory. We have the Sun. Is this woman a Leo? This actress? And then we have the Seven of Wands, Valor. So definitely she sees this woman as a fighter. This is why I'm asking if she's a Leo or she's a fire sign. But yeah, if she's not a fire sign, she could have a strong Leo placement somewhere, because the sun also reminds me of Leo. I think that she has a huge admiration. I don't know if that is this woman like a sort of fighter, or her roles are all about fighting or just being victorious or competing with people, because she's like, you know, she's a badass and she's always victorious. She's always victorious. And it's like, yeah, I like her. I like her vibe. I like her attitude. She's a strong woman. There's something about Momo, seeing her like she's a strong. She's like this strong, she's so courageous, you know, she's so courageous. And she's also beautiful, you know, when she is on the screen, she's like, she catches your attention. It's like you cannot take your eyes away from her. Ah, she's a Cancer, I believe, but I'm not sure, could be a Leo. Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe she's a Cancer, yeah. Yeah, but definitely she's like, you know, this woman is like, is a machine. There's something about her just being just very versatile. And but I don't know if maybe the roles that she has, she always comes out victorious of the roles that she has, or does she have like sort of romantic roles where she cries a lot? Does anyone know? But I don't know, from Momo's perspective, it's like she's so strong. I like her. Like, she's so strong. She never loses a fight, or she never loses. You know, she's a winner in my eyes, and she's so fun. Like, there's something about watching her is so fun. But yeah, also a lot of wands, a lot of energy. You know, probably this woman also works with her body and trains a lot to be this. So yeah, so very passionate, very passionate, very passionate. Probably I would say very aggressive. Like, I don't know if they give her, because she got the 7th one, so I can sort of see her like also fighting people and defending others and putting her body. So yeah, I mean, that's cool, but they should give her like more, like slow down a bit. Poor woman. Like, it must be very challenging to be her. Ah, she has very strong roles. Ah, okay. She's in Money Heist Korea's Tokyo. Ah, I think I remember her. Money Heist Korea, I believe I watched the first episode, so I think I remember her. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, let's move on to the last one. Ah, she has very strong facial features. Yeah, all fire. This is why I was amazed. Like, all these ones, I was like, wow, this woman never rests. Never rests. Because it's not just about her like being physically strong. Like, her whole aura has to be always on fire, it seems. Like, very sharp, like very like combative. Okay. Okay, the last one, and then I'm going to go, guys. Sorry for my crazy day today, guys, but the humidity and the rain doesn't help my hair. Okay. Let's pull cards for the dynamic between aespa Winter and NCT Jaehyun. Yeah, I guess it does make sense, now that we enter every season, all these ones that came up. People are going to take literal this card. For me, this card doesn't represent love, but if you want to take it as love, is what the cards came up. So yeah, it's going to be controversial. This is not a shipping reading, but if the cards are talking, I just interpret it. Okay. From Winter's perspective about Jaehyun, we start with the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, and 7 of Pentacles. Then from Jaehyun's perspective about Winter, we have the 10 of Wands. This has to do the 10 of Wands because she's an aespa member. Like, oh my God, why do they restrict so much these girls? Because I always get this vibe of them. 8 of Cups, instability, and 6 of Pentacles, well-being. And then the card that they got is the Lovers. But in this deck, the Lovers is called Love. I don't agree with the Lovers, the major arcana of the Lovers being a representation of this keyword of love, but this is how it says here. So I think that for their dynamic, I don't see it as love. I see it, the Lovers is more about like, it's more about indecision. For me, the Lovers is more about indecisions. It's more about making a decision and being in the middle. I think that I want to see if I have the Lovers in here, because this is not just for people that watches my videos. This is not just pulling cards and just talking about idols. Like, I want people to learn about tarot as well. At least people that are interested, I want them to get like some kind of lesson, or if they want to hear it. See, this is the lover in this deck. See that there's an angel, there's an angel watching over them. And there's like this person that wants to reach out to the other, and the other one is like, yeah, but she's looking at the angel. She's thinking, he's like, come on. In here, it seems this looks like a picture of the Two of Cups. Is when the people, like the people here in the Lover's card, there's nothing in between them. They already made up their mind that they want to be together. And for me, the Lovers doesn't represent this. For me, it's like when you are in the before the making the decision, when you're like, yeah. So I think that they definitely have a curiosity for each other. They definitely, if they had talked, if they had interacted romantically as friends, I don't know. But there's this indecision. For me, it feels like it's not like, oh, you and I, we are the same. No, they are not the same. And there's some things that get in the way that I will expand on this. So this is why I'm defending these lovers. Because it's not as simple as, oh, this is the card that says love. They are in love. No. How Winter sees Jaehyun, we have two wings. So I think that Winter sees Jaehyun definitely she sees him like this duality of this very. First of all, he's very connected with his feminine side. He's like this Queen of Cups, and he's like this Queen of Swords. So he can be very sweet, very intuitive. He can be like, a very compassionate person, but then he can also be very cold, and being very detached. He is an Aquarius, so, there's this duality in him. But first of all, I think when it comes to how she perceives him, he probably was very sweet or considerate with her at some point. So she has this vision of him being also this Queen of Cups, of like, oh, he really, he's not the typical guy, he's sensitive, like he has consideration. When he looks at you or when he pays attention, he really sees you, he's very sweet. Probably he's very, he's very considerate, he's very compassionate, he's very loving, but at the same time, he can also be detached, and also the Queen of Swords is, is someone that is looking at the future, and the keyword is reason. So even though he can be very sweet, sorry, that's my cat sneezing, there's also this feeling of like, I can be very sweet, but at the other second, I can also use my reason and get away and just go away, and disappear, because my reason tells me that, I shouldn't be this sensitive, like, I shouldn't go that deep, so I go. So, I take my sword and I just cut connections and I just go and focus on something else. With the Seven of Pentacles, also the key word in here, it says delay. And also the Seven of Pentacles talks about patience. So it's interesting that this is why this is my favorite deck out of all of them, because I agree with the keywords. I think that the Seven of Pentacles is like, there's a delay about him. There's something about the way he moves or the way he expresses something to her that she's like, I don't know how he feels about me, or I don't know what he thinks of me. Because there's moments where he's very considerate, and then there's moments where he's just slow. And I just translate that because, Pentacles, actions, what I can see, what I can perceive, like what is available in front of me. I see that this is very green between us. I see that whether he's not ready to tell me, or he's confused, or he's just not into me, or I don't know, but I don't see him making advances. I don't see him being clear with me. So my perception of him is that, yeah, he's sweet, he's nice, he's a gentleman, he's very intelligent, he's very good at what he does. He's like, there's a huge admiration also. This is why he got all these queens, because it's not the first time that Jaehyun got queen cards of the court. So definitely he's very in touch with this feminine side, and he's also very smooth. And she definitely values that, because maybe there's something about her getting a bit like on the defense when someone is too masculine or when someone is too direct with her. So she likes him. She likes him, but she also has this perception of him just like, yeah, he was very considerate with me. He had these gestures towards me, but I wouldn't know what to tell you about him, because there's no response, there's no continuation to the conversation. If they're having a conversation, probably it stops and then it just stays in there. So for her, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to think about him, because actually, like, our connection is in delay. Like, I don't know. I can't, like, it's not that, oh no, we will never talk again. But there's this very, like, when you really like someone, you advance or you do something. And for her, it's like, I actually don't see him doing much. So, and from his side, about how he sees Winter, we have the 10 of Wands, that the keyword is oppression. 8 of Cups, that it says instability and well-being. So, I don't know, guys, if you remember, I pulled cards for Winter for her birthday, for Capricorn season. I pulled cards for her, and I also talked about, there's something about her energy feeling very unstable, feeling very sensitive. She definitely needs to take care of herself, because there's something that repeats itself, like sort of like cycles where she's feeling her best, and there are cycles where she's not feeling that good. And in here, from Jaehyun's perspective, he sees it. First of all, he sees oppression. So definitely he probably cannot be that spontaneous or probably because this is how he sees her. So he sees that she's very oppressed. He sees that probably, like I said about other SPA members, I don't know if they keep her in a dungeon, but they keep them separated from others. Like they are like behind closed doors, or they are separated. So it's like, for him, it's not easy to reach out. And also there's something about him feeling her energy, like, this girl is oppressed, like, this girl is very restricted. What is going on with her? It's not about communication. It's more about how he feels about her. Like, my God, like, is she okay? Like, what is going on? And then we have the 8 of Cups, and we have the 6 of Pentacles, that the keyword is well-being. So I think that Jaehyun definitely sees that she's not that stable emotionally. And I think that this is why he's like, okay, I'm going to give her space, because, I don't know what's going on with her. I don't want to make her feel upset. I hope, and also with the card of oppression, there's this oppression of the feelings. He probably feels like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Are you really okay? And she's like, yes. With all these ones in here, on the way, this is how the person protects themselves from, it's like, don't touch me. I'm okay. Like, don't touch me. I'm okay. So he sees her like this. Like, it's not easy to get to know her, and his perception, the part of him that he's sensitive, he's like, this girl is unstable, like she is going through something. I don't know if she's like, maybe it has to do with some health issue, because we have well-being in here, so it has to do with the body. So he's like, I don't want to disturb her. Like, this is maybe the last time he saw her. He's like, he observed something, and he's like, is she okay? Like, really, like, I don't want to disturb her, or I don't want to, just make her feel worse. So yeah, for me, it's like, there's like, they are not, because of this emotionality, I think that they are able to sort of guess what is going on with each other. They are not wrong about their perception of each other. Each one of them have their own limitations, because it's like they feel so much, but at the end, there's no communication and there's no action. So this is why I'm like, if you guys are shipping them, I don't think they're going to go anywhere, because there's a lot of, like intuition, like, I saw you the other day and I think that I saw that you, but when it comes to actions and just open communication and just ask you what's up, no one is doing it. It's like both of them are acting all mysterious, and no one is initiating nothing. So yeah, it's always going to stay in the lover's archetype, the lover's major arcana, that is indecision. It's like, I'm in the middle, like, like, I like you, oh no, I don't like you, but always like in the middle. It's like in the indecision. I feel like my cat just came, it came and just like under the chair, and they rub through my legs. I don't know which one of them is, but I saw them. Okay, guys, today was long. Today was productive, but yeah, it was long. Sorry that I'm touching my hair so much. It's just that, it's also humid here and I feel very uncomfortable. This is why I touch my hair so much, because it's so, it's so much. But yeah, this is what, I'm grateful for my hair, because, it's my hair. But yeah, this is not one of those best moments. The humidity in my hair is making it go crazy. But yeah, this was great, guys. Thank you so much to the people that requested this. It was so fun. I tried to do them all. But yeah, when do we have to see each other again? On Saturday. So yeah, definitely on Saturday. Before Saturday, I will do another community post, so you can leave your recommendations. We are starting Aries season, so I would have to start with the Aries idols. But let's see what comes up in K-pop or K-drama in general. So let's see if we can mix certain rhythms, not just for Aries idols, but also for different subjects. And if we have another dynamic, we can do another dynamic as well. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. Bye.